You've heard of the Eklavya story?
Yeah.
You've heard of the Eklavya story?
Yes.
If you want to pin down what is happening in India, it is millions and millions of Eklavya stories every single day. The people with skill, their thumbs are being cut off. They're not being allowed to operate. They're not being allowed to thrive. And it's happening across the board. So, respect for skills, supporting skills financially through technology, that's how you'll unleash India's power. You're not going to unleash India's power by empowering 1%, 2% of India. And, it's not interesting for me. So, I'm very passionate about this. I'll give you an example. Some time back, when we were in government, we were talking about skill development. And the gentleman who was running, he was appointed by Manmohan Singh ji for skill development. He came to see me. And we were having a conversation. And he was explaining to me how he was going to build ITIs. And he was going to put trainers inside ITIs. For plumbing, for hair cutting, for carpentry, for stuff like that. And I was listening to him. And I asked him a question. And what I said was, look, you're building these ITIs. And I gave him an example. I said, let's say you want to train 1 million barbers. Now, in your model, what you're going to do is you're going to have these ITIs, 1,000 of them across the country, and you'll train these barbers. But that's not where the barber's skills lie. That ITI is not where the barber's skills are. The barber's skills are with the barbers. So I said to him, why don't you do this? Why don't you set up certification centers? And then go to every single barber in India and say, listen, this is what we'd like you to train. For every guy you send to our certification center, we'll give you X amount of rupees. So let's say you have, 1 million barbers in India. And you go to 1 million barbers and you say, listen, you guys have the skills. We want to train barbers. And now start training barbers. And for every guy you train, send him to the certification center. And the moment we find that he's certified and he has been sent by you, we pay you. How long will it take you to 1 million barbers? 2 months? 3 months? Right? He just looked at me as if I was crazy. Right? Because for him, the skill isn't there. The skill is in the ITI. But actually the skill is with the barbers, with the plumbers, with the carpenters. Those guys have the skill. That's the skill network. So why are you not using it to train? Just recently I was driving past Sultanpur and I walked up to this shoemaker. It was amazing because the guy says to me, I said, what's your biggest problem? He says, I've been working here for 40 years and nobody has ever respected me. So he says to me, the only man who has ever respected me is my father. Right? So I was thinking about this. And then he says to me, there was this scheme. And they said that, they've got this scheme for shoemakers. It was in Lucknow somewhere. So he says, so I, went to Lucknow. And I said, so what did they do? They said they're going to teach me how to make shoes. He says, but I've been making shoes for 40 years. And I could teach those people how to make shoes. Right? So it's a fundamental disconnect with where the skills are. There's no shortage of skills in India. There's shortage of respect of skills in India. So you want to find the best carpenters in the world, they're sitting in India. But nobody respects their skill. Nobody actually tells them we believe in you and we want you to build something. Right? So you can't build industry without respecting skill.
Thank you.